Hello, everyone, and welcome to event 2 of the PMA season 2. Here we have balancing. We saw this event in season 1, and it's a very interesting event. We see the Eruptors with the records. They're 3 finishers as well as their other above 100 score. That's going to be difficult to beat. Meanwhile, the Symphonic Saxolotls, their test run showed that you don't need finishers to have a good run, although finishers are very handy. Starting off with the Gear Grinders, we're going in reverse championship order. So the Gear Grinders starting in last. This is very surprising. They have 2 drop immediately, and their final 2 did redeem it slightly, but those first 2, they go off immediately. 22 and 31. 137 and a finisher, which is 160, definitely did help. But still, what could have been from that run? But anyway, Sapphire Squad are next up. They definitely made a manager error in the first event, but this looks actually really good. The Sapphire Squad had a finisher, one that just barely didn't finish, and everyone else were around 100. That's a 521. The record is 583. That's 60 off the record. Now we have the Cookie Doughs. They got third last in the previous event, but again, it's early days, and they all came together, and that they were actually really close together at one point. But unfortunately, I think that collision just got everyone out of sorts, and it's second currently with a 403, but that definitely could have gone better without that collision. Now we have the Sunsetters. How will they do? What will they do here? And it's looking really good. They have 2 finishers and 2 that get, I think, beyond 100. That could even challenge the record. It's 562. 21 points off the record, but that puts them in provisional first and definitely likely to have a medal, if not the gold. But now Green Fungi, how will they do? And they're away, and it's looking really good. Everyone get really far, but then they have 3 come off the beam all at once. But what will that be still? It looks like a good run. A 476, and that puts them in provisional third place, behind the Sapphire Squad and the Sunsetters. But now we have Electric Energy, the reigning champions of the PMA. Started off with a disappointing result, to say the least. And this looks like another lackluster performance. Not going to be bad, but definitely could have been better. They have 1 drop up at 43 and a 376. That's only better than the Gear Grinders. Now we have the Palm Coasts. They did pretty decently last season, but all they do this season, and oh no, the Palm Coast, that was awful. What happened there? They just came on the beam, and then everyone just drifted to the side. Their best marble was a 109. Now we have the Honey Bears. Honey Bears started off in 9th in the last event. 8th, I think. Yeah, it was 8th. But what will they do here? 1 just gets all out of sort. They crash right into the end catch basin. But what will that score be? It's a 385. Put them in 5th. That could have been a finisher. That might have actually boosted them in the standings. But we're having a look at the halfway point scores. And yes, Sunsetters, Sapphire Squad, Green Fungi, Cookie Doughs, Honey Bears, Electric Energy, Gear Grinders, and the Palm Coasts. But now we have the Carmine Crusaders, started off in 8th in the first event. What will they do here in balancing? They're away. 1 drops up really early, and everyone else struggles, it seems. So that is not so good for the Carmine Crusaders. See here, 1 really early, and then everyone else just shoving each other off. That's 8 out of 9. Now we have the Pallet Patrollers. Had a pretty decent first event, so what can they do in balancing? They're away, and it doesn't look amazing. It looks okay at best. Everyone got to the midpoint of the beam and then just completely fell. At 40 actually really hurt. 9th out of 10. That's a lot worse than I thought. But now we have the Film Fanatics. What can they do in balancing? They're away, and they're first 3 marbles seemed to push that first one, and that caused them to get all out of sorts. See there, their first marble bumped the first one, their last marble bumped the first marble, and then the second and third just followed suit, and I didn't see where that placed them provisionally, but not great, I assume. The Stream Strikers now. What can they do? Oh no, as our host, this is not what they wanted. After following off a 5th place, this is 12th out of 12 currently. That's probably going to be last place, under 300. That is shocking, to say the least. But now we have the Blood Eyes. Can the Blood Eyes do anything? They've one drop off really early, and the rest cannot make up really that well. Will it beat the Stream Strikers though? It probably does. Yes, and 9th out of 13, they were more consistent. Now we have Team Nightmare. What can Team Nightmare do? After getting a bronze in the first event, they're away, and oh, everyone's staying on the beam. They have one finisher, and the rest seem to do pretty decently. What will their score be? It's a 442, provisional 4th place. That was really close to getting on the podium, just barely can't. Now we have the Eruptors getting the silver medal in the first event. But what can they do here? They're away, and it looked pretty decent. No finishers. After they hold the record, we're definitely the favourites going into the event, especially after their good first event. And that's 5th currently. Not going to be a podium, but still a respectable finish for the Eruptors. Now the Pirate Chips winning their first ever event. But what can they do? Here, they're away, and it's not going to be on the podium, but still looks like a very good run. It's 5th currently, with a 424. They had a finisher, and the rest did pretty decently. But now we're looking down the track to see the fans getting ready to view our podium finishers. Congratulations to the Green Fungi for winning the bronze, to the Sapphire Squad for winning the silver, and to the Sunsetters for winning the gold medal in balancing. We're having another look down the track, and yes, you can see the full results there. Sunsetter, Sapphire Squad, Green Fungi, Team Nightmare, Pirate Chips, Eruptors, Cookie Dough, and Honey Bears finished in the top half. But what will the standings be? Pirate Chips and Eruptors hold the top 2. Sunsetters jump up 10 into 3rd. Team Nightmare fall to 4th. Sapphire Squad also jumping up 10 into 5th, and Green Fungi jumping up 6 into 6th. And we see the Gear Grinders and Pamco struggling. 4 teams are tied on 11 points. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the first event of the Basement Battle balancing. See you then.